This Oh Steve comes to us from Verb Turner. Oh Steve 50 Cent version. Oh Steve, it's your birthday. Oh Steve, it's your birthday. I'm a computer tickle Steve, it's your birthday.
Spears and Steinberg.
You know what the it is?
Aries and Andy, Chew and the Jerk.
You know it's time to get this work.
The real raw, gutter, uncut, cold. No political corrections.
Always sleep.
Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes.
Cry, we lit.
There's levels to this shit. Before you was on your mama.
Aries Spears don't give a fuck.
We talk about race a lot, racism. Much love to my loyal bag holders.
Rollers, loaders.
We got them in the folders.
The whole world on our shoulders.
Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah.
Sweet to the point, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should have. Maybe a few other voices might have made it snappier.
Yeah. Hey, listen, they can't always pop. Jose Gardia, America's team. Hey, what's up, guys? Just wanted to drop my 2 cents on the sports talk you guys had today. So first off, Andy saying that Tyson versus Mayweather would be fun is a joke. Those old bastards shouldn't be boxing anymore. It looks pathetic. I've seen enough of Mike. His good old days are gone. I'd rather see his podcast than watch him fight. Now, when Aries talks sports, I feel like he knows about 40% of the shit he's talking about. Now, he is right about a lot of cities not having teams and the Hispanic community, but I also feel like their training camp begin in Southern California every year got them a lot of their fans. So they had the whole Southern California market and Arizona to Kansas pretty much. So they were America's team for a long time, but not anymore. They are far from it. Cowboys suck, and the whole country loves it. Mike Irvin stabbed it. Come on, Aries, ha-ha. I think he's getting Mike Irvin confused with Ray Lewis. Mike Irvin didn't stab anybody. And if he did, they would have talked about that in the doc.
Yeah, I didn't know. I never heard of that.
No, it was the drugs. Mike didn't stab nobody. That's Ray Lewis.
Yeah, and I disagree with them. But I agree and disagree with them. Half the country, I think, really does hate Dallas.
But why do they hate him?
Because they were successful.
Exactly.
And the other half loves Dallas. And that rivalry will go on. And that's what, between people, and that's what makes them. But, you know, the luster of America's team did fall off. I mean, especially when America's team it didn't, but the winning team was New England.
Right.
There was a lot of people that were like, oh, I'm a New England fan now, because a lot of people don't have sports teams, so they gravitate to the one that's winning.
Right.
I disagree with them, though. I think a lot of people still really like Dallas, but that's an Arizona thing, too. There's a lot of people from Arizona that like Dallas, a lot of people from Vegas or Nevada that like Dallas.
Right.
They just fell into those teams because, you know, and of course, most of Texas likes the Cowboys.
A lot of Hispanics love the Cowboys, man.
And I still think that stays that same way. But a lot of Hispanics are also Raiders fans.
I think a lot of Hispanics love, especially Mexicans, love Dallas because it's one of the entry routes into the country illegally.
Dallas isn't.
Texas.
Texas is, yeah. Not Dallas.
Dallas is associated with Texas.
Okay.
That
So
was
that was a reach because they should like Cardinals, too, then.
Okay.
And half the people in Arizona that are Hispanic don't even like the Cardinals.
I love the Mexicans. You know I'm joking.
They still love Dallas more.
Verb Turner, Jade and Jada. Aries, have you seen the two sisters, Jade and Jada, on IG? They imitate you while playing your Vlad interviews. Facial expressions and everything. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. I've been listening to the podcast for a long time, but I just think it's cool that your comedic timing and ability is getting recognized by the youth. Much respect, brother. Yeah, I have, sir. I've seen it.
It's funny.
And I hit him up and told him I was very flattered by it. Yeah, this shit going on with TikTok now is serious business.
They have dance moves with it.
With what?
When they talk about you too.
Really? I haven't seen the dance moves.
Yeah, they had some. There was one where they were well, it wasn't dance moves, but it's choreographed.
Oh, it's my movement.
Yeah.
Movement. Yeah.
But they kind of put it more to a beat.
Yeah.
So it was good.
DJ bangs well. What?
It's a good name.
DJ Bagswell. Your boy Andy at it again. Shake my head. Yo, Aries, what's good? Your boy Nels here again. Yo, WTF is up with your boy. It's 2 people out of 3 in the room saying that boy Charlie is a racist. And here's Andy talking about, oh, you got to hear more. Bro, what? I don't know, man. Your boy is starting to smell a lot like that spoiled milk you mentioned. But I know you'll ignore the red flags and defend him. Have you ever thought maybe you're his token blackie? You're one of the good ones. Food for thought. But anyway, Andy, get that hate out your heart, dog. And shout out Mark, a.k.a. Surge from Beverly Hills Cop, for being an ally. Surge. That's funny. Donnie, and clean this up. Whatever this is, this scrub, it's not sexy. It's not sexy. No, it's not sexy.
Don't shut that. Can I comment on this before you say anything about it?
Sure.
Listen, man, I really, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm be honest. What's his real name?
DJ Bagswell.
Yeah, but what's his real name?
No, that's all he had in there. Oh.
No, he had a real name in there.
Damn, I deleted
Sir,
it.
I have nothing against you whatsoever. I would like you to look deeper into who your allies are. I would like you to look deeper into seeing how people think and why they think what they think. That's a bigger it's not just what they think, it's why they think it. That's where you find people that are going to be more like-minded. Even if you disagree, you're going to be more like-minded on the reason why you got to these places. You want to hear things that you agree with. That doesn't make someone your ally. It just makes someone that agrees with you because it sounds right. When you brought up, you said, I think Aries is your token black friend.
Mm-hmm.
Aries,
Blackie.
Yeah, Aries knows me well enough to know that Aries isn't the man in my life that's black that I look to or have ever looked to as far as my culture barometer. I've had other people that I grew up with that are those people to me. So when you say that kind of shit, to me, I just think you're ignorant.
Yeah, Andy has many tokens.
Yes, many.
They're called bitcoins.
No, it just makes you sound ignorant to me. And you don't have to worry about it because you don't need me in your life. You don't, because we would have a conversation that might change your mind. But what you determine is what makes someone an ally. You're ignorant, man.
You know, and I got to take some responsibility for this. I know, and I kind of still stand by it when I say my gut tells me, when I use the spoiled milk thing, that Charlie Kirk's heart, his energy, the vibes that I'm getting, my spider sense tingling, is just not coming from a good place. But that being said, I understand how important context is, and maybe it's my responsibility to really look at his clips and get the full context, because based on some of the breakdowns that I've seen people mention about the full context, it's like, yeah, if you just look at the soundbite, it sounds a certain way. But if you take it all in contextually, it ain't what they're making it out to be. That being said, I'm just saying, when your gut tells you something, 9 times out of 10, it's right. And my gut just tells me this dude wasn't coming from the right place. Even though his words might have been in full context, that. I know that doesn't seem to make much sense, but...
No. Does it sound like he has a lot of black friends?
What are you looking for?
Oh, I was just going to pull something up for you. But does it sound like he did? Yeah, he has their whole part of Turning Point has a lot of black influence.
Oh, my God. Like he hired black people as part of Turning Point?
No. It wasn't.
Because he did.
Yeah, I know he did hire black people, but
To reach black people.
No, but what else?
Sounds a lot like DEI, if you ask me.
No, but what else did he do?
I don't know what you're in. I don't know.
No, but what else does he have to do with the black community? What else did he have to do?
I think it's just the way you talk about the black community that takes away. If he was really trying to have a constructive dialogue about, problems in the black community, you do it with a different tone. You know what I mean?
No.
No?
No, see, that's what I'm saying, but that's what I buy into a little bit, is the tone. That tone tells me a lot.
Says a lot.
He wasn't trying to put a tone on it. He was trying to tell truthful messaging, and that was it. There wasn't any. He wasn't selling it. He was saying this is what it is. And I was looking for the one. Where's the video that I sent you? And then I asked you if you saw it. Did you really see it?
No, I hadn't seen it.
I sent you one on Charlie Kirk. I was going to look it up, but let me see if I can find it real quick. And it put more context to what he said. But like you're one of those guys though. You take a soundbite. I'm talking about Mark especially.
No, I know a lot of that stuff was taken out of context. That's why certain things I'm like, oh, come on, you guys, you're being lazy by citing this as an example because you didn't listen to what he was really saying before and after that. I agree with that.
He's kicked people out of his.
Listen, there's a guy, Mark Marino. He said, not for email show, just more debunked rhetoric about Kirk. All of these points are spoken over and over by him ad nauseum, and mainstream media outlets and politicians purposely misquoted him to the point it got this man killed. And then he has it.
That's false.
He has the quotes right here. He writes Civil Rights Act. He's got the link to that one. Black pilots. He's a racist. LGBTQIAs hate. Thoughts on abortion. So we should do this so we don't spend a whole lot of time.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on this.
Mark, I'm going to send you this email from this guy. And then on the next podcast, like pull up, like look at some of these links and be ready to play them so we could then have the conversation that we need to have.
Roger that.
So I'm forwarding this to you now.
I will say he wasn't killed because the mainstream media was talking about Kirk. Nobody was talking about Charlie Kirk. It was his own rhetoric that would have radicalized somebody. Who on MSNBC was talking about Charlie Kirk?
I don't know. They were talking about it in CNN. I know that. And when it's not just the news. It's when they have their what do they have when they have all their talking heads on, and they're
Pundits, like the political pundits.
yeah, and they're using words like fascist, and he was called fascist over and over by people on those shows on MSNBC, on CNN.
See, now you're being wrong again.
Okay, go tell me why I'm being wrong. Because they
nobody was talking about Charlie Kirk. Not like nobody knew who he was, but people talk about Donald Trump, call him fascist and stuff. People call him the government.
And then they shot at him.
And I think it's important to make this distinction.
Okay, make the distinction.
Because if you really want to solve, like in the future, whether it's on the left or the right, who are people that maybe might be targeted more, you should look at who's making inflammatory statements and as their posts, as their clickbait.
When you misquote them,
this dude did not hear from other people that Charlie Kirk is bad or whatever. He just saw what Kirk was posting.
I don't know, and you don't know.
I do know because there's none of the mainstream news. There's no, there's like left wing, like independent media that would take Charlie Kirk clips and say why that's wrong what he's saying, like they all do. But it's the shit that Charlie Kirk put out on his own.
Okay, again, like I'm going to try to finish and say this time, we don't know what the person who killed him actually said because he hasn't said it, or what he was feeling or why he was feeling it. But I will say this, and this is what I don't like, and I don't think that either side should be doing this. When we use terms like fascist, Nazis, when you do this, you put people at a level where they feel like if someone, and it's a very common thing, people go, if you had the opportunity, if you could go back in time, would you kill Hitler? Of course I would kill Hitler. So if you can make someone a Nazi or a fascist or someone that you feel is at a level of Hitler, then you have every right to take them out because you're doing a good thing. And that's the problem when we put these people in these categories.
Mark, you don't have a camera on you?
I got this bad boy.
So we are seeing you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but the point I'm trying to make is you think it's because of the left's rhetoric, but it really is just he probably listened to Charlie Kirk, didn't like what he had to say.
Wait. Say that again. Say that again. Say that again.
You're trying to
No. Go back and say how you just said it. Please say it again because you do this all the time.
Which part?
The part where you go, he.
If you can't remember what you just said, he can't.
No, I can tell him. I can tell him exactly.
Well, tell him before you forget.
What is that? What in what you said? He probably means anything to me.
The probably part?
Yeah, because he probably.
Because I'm not speaking with 100% certainty.
He probably. Then don't say it like it's 100% certainty. What
Well,
I
I'm
said.
saying with
What I
100%
said is 100% certainty. We don't know
No,
why.
I'm telling you, this is not like they were calling him fat. It's not like pundits were calling him fascist like that on TV or anything. You know, you talk about the MSNBC is calling everybody Hitler. This dude was 22 years old. He didn't watch MSNBC, I'm guessing. He probably watched whatever's on his phone.
Did you get that again?
That's why Charlie Kirk...
Did you get what he just said again? This is the problem with these people. And I'm going to put you under these people. I'm guessing. You just said everything on how you knew it and then go, I'm guessing. Speak what you know.
Why would I say with absolute certainty?
Then why would you say it if you have no certainty?
Fine. Should I start every podcast episode with I'm not sure if I agree with this?
Yes. Because what you're saying right now is and then you qualify it with I guess, which everybody heard what you said, but the I guess part. They have said it. He was called a fascist many times.
Who?
Charlie Kirk.
Who called him? Are you just saying in general people?
People in media have called him a fascist. People who have
what media?
Well, social media, number one.
Social media, okay. So random people
CNN. The people who talked on CNN have called him a fascist. I've heard it. Do I know which one of the many talking heads said it? No.
When did they talk about Charlie Kirk?
All the time.
CNN?
Yeah.
No, before he was killed.
Yes.
Dude, Fox News barely even had him on.
But why did I hear it then?
On CNN.
I can say that I've heard it. I heard people talking about Charlie Kirk and about...
Before he was killed?
Yes. Yes.
How much?
How much does it need to be talked about?
Let's get ready to wrap this up.
It just doesn't...
long-winded.
It is, but it's just, I'm just tired of probably, and I guess. Then don't say it or say
I watch all this and so I'm just evaluating what happened and maybe why he was radicalized. It's because he just listened to Charlie Kirk.
Probably.
Riverman 1979. Jim Norton and Art, a quick one, Aries. You said Dick Skiat. I wanted to add to that joke by saying Dick Casso and Cock Squiat. That's all. Do any of those beat Dick Skiat?
No.
Like, Picasso, Dick Casso and Cock Squiat. Cock Squiat is not bad.
Prick Cassio would have been better.
Prick Casso. Prick Casso would have been much better.
Bonet
would have been good.
Like Monet?
Yeah.
Oh, Bonet. Porn names for artists. We started something. Junebug Spade. Charlie Kirk.
No, here we go again.
Yeah. What's up, fellas? I want to give my thoughts on the whole Charlie Kirk situation. I've had a few debates with my friends and coworkers about this. Many didn't care for him, and some did. Oh, my God. Me personally didn't care for him. Me personally did not care for him. Do I think he deserved to die? No, but I also shed no tears or had sympathy for him. The common thing I hear from people who are fans of him say, people should have empathy. It's ironic because he stated that he didn't believe in the word empathy and that he didn't like it. How can people expect someone to be so saddened or have empathy when he didn't show it while he was alive? I equate his freedom of speech gimmick as giving a birthday cake, but there's inside it. It appears nice, but the core of it is rotten. He claimed to be this Christian man, but yet his ideologies and rhetoric goes against the messages in Scripture. And let's not even get on how conservative journalists are so outraged by people's response. They had no outrage when white kids were doing the Trayvon Martin challenge on social media, or when people were mocking George Floyd's murder, or when George Zimmerman was on a damn book tour and his fans were having him sign bags of Skittles and cans of tea. This selective outrage is a joke. I wish no harm or death to anyone, but I won't feel bad when the negative energy you put out comes back to haunt you. Everyone has a right to speak their mind, but it's what you're speaking about that can determine the type of response you get from the public. Sorry for the long email. I'm just sick of the political that we've been seeing for so long. Junebug Spade.
The quote was misquoted again, though, because he did. I don't know the exact quote, so I'm not going to try to do the exact quote. But it was about empathy is not. I forgot. It's empathy. He doesn't believe in empathy. He understood sympathy, and because sympathy was an emotion, I forgot how he described it. But you can go back on it. It wasn't like he doesn't say that you should feel for people, but he was saying sympathy and empathy are two different things, and empathy is the word that we use now, and that it wasn't correct. It was more of a word issue. I think people are trying to get to the same place, but again, it's a misquote.
So let
It's
me
like
ask
his
you,
pronouns.
So let me ask you this.
No, it's not like pronouns.
So let me ask you. So for all of these people, and it's a lot of people that didn't like him and would say things like it was because of his rhetoric. He spewed this. He spewed that. So are all of these people just in their feelings that are wrong?
No, I'm not saying
Right?
that they're
It's
wrong.
like he came out of nowhere.
It's not like saying it's wrong. It's a lot of things have been misinterpreted, and it was easy to misinterpret him. It was very easy to do.
But if you're misinterpreting what he's saying and he's saying it in a way that's not misleading and that's factual, then how do you misinterpret it?
Because
are you stupid?
No, a lot of things happen. Like Stephen King put out a post about how he didn't feel anything regret for this, or I don't want to say that because that's not exactly what he said, but how his didn't have any feelings towards this because he said something about gays being should be stoned, and that's not what he said. It was part of the conversation, a quote that someone else put out. I don't know if it was someone else put it out there or he read it from somewhere, and it was in the defense of it. And actually, he's defended gays in the Republican and the conservative movement, and he's kicked people out of his actually debates for being anti-gay, saying that they have no place in the party. So,
where's the clip? Isn't there a clip, Mark? Can you find it where Charlie's on stage? He's talking to somebody in the audience. He gets so upset, he gets out of his chair. Didn't he use the word?
See, that's wrong too. That's the name of the left-wing journalist, media personality. His name is Sank Ugar.
So where'd the chink
Or
thing
Chank,
come?
Sank. He was yelling at. That's the dude's name.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, that's why I'm like, yo, I gotta put me on pause.
Well, people have gotten. It's a big problem. Like, people will see certain things and, like they say, take it out of context. That's not necessarily the stuff that led people to not like Charlie Kirk was those instances. That's just what some lazy person.
Wait. I'm not going to let you do this because how do most people you just said he wasn't on CNN.
Listen.
They didn't talk. How do most people how did most people see Charlie Kirk then?
On social media.
And how was social media is used to
Take them out of context and
very easily.
Well, one.
Hey. You go back and forth on this stuff with social media.
But you don't even know like what's happening. It's
What do you
like
mean?
you're getting old.
What do you mean that I don't know what's happening?
So the stuff that people saw was primarily stuff that Charlie put out himself. So there are instances where you do put something more clickbaity. Anybody would do it, to sensationalize it. But it's his debates that he had with students that people would watch and shit like that. Not the full lengths, but the clips that they'd put out. And there's stuff like somebody was. This is what I'm talking about. There's a black student said someone was calling the N-word, and it happened in multiple instances in the same day. And Charlie's like, I don't believe you. Shit like that. And it went on for like 6 minutes, some shit like that. I don't believe you. Why didn't you file a report? Like that. You're making this up. And the black dude's just like, but it happened. It's that denial that there are instances that do happen today that he constantly, I don't know, he just doesn't take black people's word for shit. Or like somebody was talking about sexual assault, and no, it's not. Sexual assault doesn't happen on campuses. Like, because that 1 in 5
Do you have the
stat.
clip that you can pull it up?
I'll do this. I'll next week come
Because
with
what you just
ammunition.
said right now is part of what the problem is. Did he say that sexual? Because
Yeah, he says it's more like 1 in 10,000.
Okay.
I've been with multiple women that have been raped.
Well, you've been with them.
Yeah, so that should tell you something.
Yeah, that they shouldn't be with you.
Yeah, and-
you opened up the door and then walked into
some
it.
of the rapes weren't by me.
I don't know. Like that saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'm hearing both, and I'm almost like being like Andy now. I want to entertain. I think you have to entertain both sides, because again, on one side, and you just said it. If on social media these clips are being manipulated and it's not the full context, from the outside looking in, it would be very easy for you to go, yeah, this dude was this. But then on the other side, if you look at the whole thing and you really look at it objectively and honestly in terms of its full context, you might easily go, no, he's not the dude that everybody says he is. But then why are they saying it then? Is it their feelings? It's just they're stupid and can't comprehend the truth, don't want to comprehend the truth? Where is this coming from?
I'll create a clip if you
No,
post it on
I don't
social media.
want you to
We'll get
create a
millions
clip.
of
I don't
views.
want you to create a clip. I don't trust you. I got to be honest with you, because here's the thing that I don't think that you realize. And when you say things like to me, he put these clip things out, and that's where this is all coming. First of all, I know who you are. And so what is your algorithm? Do you know what your algorithm is? And to your answer to what you're saying is, he says that Charlie Kirk put these things out, so there are. But there's a lot of talking points where Charlie Kirk is saying something, and there's someone saying, this is what Charlie Kirk said, and this is what it is. And then they play part of the clip, and that's it. Depending on your algorithm and what you like, that's what they put out. Do you hate Charlie Kirk? Here's some more reasons why to hate him. If you like Charlie Kirk, here's some reasons to like him. And then if you can actually move away from your algorithm, which is there's ways to do it, but you have to click many different times to go to different places so that it feeds you something different, you can find just regular clips. The algorithm is made to make you feel the way that you feel, even more so. It's made to empower you, to make you feel like you're right. The algorithm works against us.
Bill Maher talked about that on his show.
And look at him, and he's like, oh, it doesn't do it that way because that's not how it works.
No, it's because I primarily watch right-wing.
Okay.
I don't, and I'm on X a lot.
So great. Then you don't know what the other side is coming up with. You don't, when you're saying to me, well, it's just his clips, because that's what you're watching. It's
you
his
know,
clips.
for you to be like, oh, I don't trust you, and
I
then
don't
it's like
trust you.
I'm in some bubble. What have I done here? I've already admitted that many things that he has said has been taken out of context. I try to look at it objectively. There's a million, like a lot of the stuff that Charlie Kirk said, I think is good messaging for anybody. It's not like everything I think of his is tainted. I mean, whether it is a net positive or net negative, I don't know. It's not for me to say. But I'm not saying that everything he said. I'm admitting that a lot of things were taken out of context. I'm saying I can throw shit together that is in context where you go, huh.
I still don't trust you. Because I'm not saying that you live in a bubble, but
I know,
you live in an
because
experienced life.
You're the
that's
guy
with-
who has to defend Trump every week, and doesn't matter what evidence you have, you'll move the goalpost.
See, and then you just said that. I don't defend Trump every single week. If you ask me about the stuff he's done recently, I will tell you what I think about it. You have an idea of what it is from a very small timeline of your life. You have no context to put into history. You can read books, but you have no context to history. We've been here before. We've been through this before.
Okay.
And you don't ever put it into any kind of context. You put it in through the lens that you look at today, which is to me, it's a very weak, soft people that are watching these things. And I don't agree with the way that you break them down and digest it. I don't. I think it comes from a mindset that we need to be sweet and loving and nice to each other. And that's part of the problem. Sometimes we need to be smacked around, and you need to be told that you did something wrong.
Yeah, I agree that we should all be a little bit tougher and engage in more debates, not like what this pussy ass did was shoot him. But, no.
But that's where you live, dude.
What?
You live in a softer world.
What do you mean?
You come from a softer world.
So what does that mean?
You tend to skew in a way that you believe things should be, the nicer way that they are, the way that they would work. It would work better. It would work. It would be nicer.
Did you see his memorial?
I didn't see his memorial.
What do you think they're pushing?
I didn't see his memorial.
Everybody should be Christians, blah, blah. I'm just saying, keep that out of my life. I don't want any of that.
I didn't watch it because it wasn't, the person was important to me. This was a, I don't like anybody using someone else's death or someone else's strife or for political gain. And that's what I felt that memorial was going to be. So I didn't watch it.
I heard somebody talking, saying some about how, most people online, they actually don't comment on it, which, most of the time I don't. You just scroll and watch. It's really only the 10%, like on the left and the right, that are actually commenting on it and actually like posting. And those happen to be the most extreme. So the narratives that are out there that the news reports on, these are the minority of people. Most people agree with each other and can have conversations. And like the biggest, like the independent party is like the most registered people. Most people are in the middle and not as crazy as
But the
both
news
sides.
doesn't show that. The news shows people fighting and calling people out of their name. I don't agree with anything that's going on right now.
Yeah, I agree. They both need to be.
Okay.
Let me lighten the mood. And it's one of those things where I look at the emails and I go, did I read this? Because I didn't read it, but I just was curious, so I hit it. So the blue dot is gone, which makes me think I read it, but I didn't read it. I'm saying that to say I'm gonna save this one for last because I was, while y'all were talking, I was reading parts, and I really want to address this. But anyway, 817_Corey. Macho Man Randy Savage. What's good, A&A? Oh, and what's up, Mark? I didn't forget about you, Mr. Fag. Just joking, LOL. Mark is my... Anyway, I had a random thought about Harry's impression and how creative he is with them. Aries, I was wondering if you could do an impression of Macho Man Randy Savage and Bill Cosby finding out they have AIDS, LOL. Wow. Talk about, what's that show? Whose line is it anyway? What a subject. Of course, do them individually and with your own plot to it. Also, I've seen a video on TikTok of a fan running into Aries at the mall, and it looked like Aries ignored him, but I know for sure something must have happened. Maybe he pissed Aries off before pressing record. Damn, I'd like to see that.
You didn't see that?
No, you saw it?
Yeah, Jerry Seinfelded him. It was probably before a show, I think. You were just...
Walking around in the mall like at the...
Because you might have had a towel on your shoulder.
And you had your headphones probably in your ears.
Not at a mall.
If you were walking around at like Hartford.
Yeah, I think it was Hartford.
Really?
Yeah, because you go out into the mall sometimes. You'll even go out there to smoke
You've
a
seen
cigarette.
this footage?
Mm-hmm.
Send it to me.
Let me see it.
Oh, yeah, maybe the dude said something pissed me off. I don't know. Or maybe Aries just got into it with his woman before going into the mall. Anything could have happened. I hate that social media tries to make someone the bad guy, but don't know what happened. But don't know what people go through or what happened before seeing a famous person. Not everyone is going to be in a good mood all of the time. I remember back in 2020, I seen Aries at the Parks Mall in Arlington, Texas. You were eating, so I didn't bother you out of respect. You took notice that I was looking at you, shocked, and you waved and said, "What's up?" You never gave that fake Hollywood vibe. Sorry if this is long, and I have $10. LOL, keep doing your thing. Well, thank you there, Corey, for coming to my defense.
Well, damn, it's again, this moment is someone else's moment. It's not your moment. And it didn't go the way that they thought the moment was supposed to go.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, do me a favor. I'm going to count this down. After I count it down, give me a phone ring. Give me 3 rings, okay? In 3, 2, 1. Hello? Who's calling? You see? You know Bill. It's the Macho Man. Hello, Macho Man. What's going on? I'm pretty busy right now. I'm making a cocktail for a young lady that doesn't even know she's about to go to sleep. Speaking of sleep, you remember that night when you and I got together and we both slept in the same bed? And next thing I know, I go to the doctor. I found out I have an STD. Oh boy, what do you have? I found out I got HIV. Oh boy, I'm wondering how you got it. Oh, come on, Bill. You know what we did? I went down on you and I said to you, do you want me to put your condom on you with my mouth? And you told me. You told me. Do the knowledge, nigga. So I went down on your pudding pop without the condom. You squirted in my throat. And now I got AIDS. Are you happy about it? Ooh, yeah. I don't know. This was last minute.
You could have ended it. The condom.
I'm sorry. That was last minute. I know it wasn't great.
Hey, this is the video though. Mark said.
Oh, he sent it to you?
Yeah, you want to see it? You want to hear it?
And he spoke to me?
Hey man, how you doing, bro? I'm a big fan of you, bro. He's a comedian.
I didn't hear him. You
Yeah.
see the distance on that?
Yeah,
I didn't hear him.
And you probably have your headphones in. That's what people. Sometimes when I'll be behind you, and people will go, Harry Spears, like, and they do their whole thing, and you keep walking, and I'll look at him, I go, he has his headphones in.
But even if I didn't, do you see the distance?
Yeah.
There's no way I heard that.
54,000 views.
That got 54.
No, 54,000 likes.
Why is that Jimmy Kimmel?
I'm a big fan of you, bro.
Almost 500,000 views.
He's a comedian. Hey man, how you doing, bro?
Dude, I didn't hear him. I didn't hear him.
You should comment on his page. I sent you the link to the original video. So.
That's funny. Yeah, you should comment on him.
Yeah, I will.
That is so fucking
Because I
funny.
genuinely didn't hear him.
No, and you always comment if someone is,
Yeah.
if it's respectful.
And he had a kid with him, so why I'm going to be an asshole in front of your kid? Come on, man.
But again, it's that moment. You think it's going to be you yelled it across the way. Maybe there's some other people that were coming at you. This is the other thing that people don't understand.
Yeah.
You're in a public place like that, and if someone goes, "Yo, Ari Spears," in front of a big area, now you have 50 people coming over to you and
Well,
asking
that
for
don't
pictures.
bother me. That
It
don't
would
bother
bother me, man.
Well, I know because, you don't.
I have problems.
Yeah. You're like Larry Bird and I'm Magic, like on Courtship of Rivals. Hey man, Larry said I ain't going through that. Show me a side door.
Yeah.
And I'll show it to him. But me, I ain't going through no side door. I'm Magic.
No,
I'm going out the front.
Yeah, I'd prefer to dip out.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, I'll give you free tickets next time I'm here.
To that dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably would.
Good optics.
It's pretty funny though, and you got a nice recording. If you wanted to do a diss, recording.
But he straight up put that on TikTok.
Yeah. Almost 500,000 views.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And
We just got to post videos of you.
So the comments
Jerry
must be
Seinfelding people.
he's an asshole.
I don't know. Let me see.
Hero G.
I can't imagine. I'm sure. Your demeanor was kind of like you didn't purposely do anything.
WTF do I do now? What the do I do now? Yo, what's up, Aries? It's your boy, Hero. First and foremost, I'd like to say that I'm a long-time listener, first-time emailer. Steve, do I even need to say it? I got to give up much love and respect to you and the Mew, Mexican Jew. Spells it M-E-W. Oh, yeah, can't forget about the nasally fluffer you guys brought in to attract more godmothers.
Now I feel bad about this.
No, I don't. He goes, forget about the nasally fluffer you guys brought in to attract more godmothers to the pod.
Godmothers.
He don't know that joke. This was pre-you. Anyway, I got to say this pod has gotten me through the last year and a half of work. I'm a city bus driver, so I work anywhere from 9 to 13-hour days, and the can get a bit stressful dealing with the public, so I always listen to the pod while I'm at work. The laughs from this pod has kept me from Ryu uppercutting several while on the job. But sadly, I must report that after starting from the beginning while keeping up with the latest episodes, I finally caught all the way up. So you know what that means. I'm going yippee-ki-yay ass first trip into the morning. You came ass first trip in the morning. I kid. Can't wait for you guys to come back to St. Louis. I catch you guys every time and was upset when you guys moved the show to Philly. I'll definitely be on the lookout for a new date. Oh, before I go, Andy, if the Mexican half of you were stale tortilla chips, would your Jewish half allow them to go in the oven to bring back the crunchiness? Much love, y'all. Hero. All right.
No, you dry those things all the way out, and we make some matzo balls with them.
Oh, look at that. I mean, killed the Mexicans to save the Jews.
Dude, have you ever had a bundigas?
Oh, what?
I didn't even say that right. It's a soup.
That sounds too much like
No, a bundigas. A bundigas is a soup.
a bone.
Yeah, it's a
It
rice.
sounds like you ever had a bone.
Mom's favorite dish.
It's it's meatballs and rice, but if you did that and dropped a matzo ball in there too, it's a perfect soup. It's a Mexican.
Right.
It's a Mexican Jewish blend. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on that. It's a chicken. It's still a chicken stock base.
Okay. Did this hunky just say bond?
Is there any bond in this town?
Well, you ain't had no problem. No problem. I've been trying to get Andy to say
How's your ally?
for 6
how's
years.
Your,
nigga.
how's your ally,
you
brother?
had no problem.
How's your ally, brother?
I'm an imperfect ally.
Oh man.
This son of a.
That's what he said it was.
Dude, I didn't know this hack until I saw it on Instagram. You know, whenever I would, and my complaint was whenever I would get pizza from wherever like my favorite pizza spot was, be it Mulberry's or Joe's Pizza in LA, in the Valley, and I got a whole box, whatever I didn't eat, I would warm up. But I would warm it up in the microwave, and the dough, the crust, would be super chewy. And I saw a guy on the internet who said never do that for that reason. You put it in a skillet and then put a little bit of water in it and then cover it so that when it steams up, it melts the cheese but keeps the crust hard. Did you know that?
Yes, but I have a better way.
Okay, I'm listening.
And this is
Because when it's chewy, it's not as good.
I throw mine on the barbecue grill.
On the barbecue grill.
Yeah. Because the flames heat up the bottom of the crust and make it hard. And when you close the top, it melts the cheese. And then you pull it out, and it's a crispy bottom. And it's
But isn't that a
melt.
lot of work to heat up a pizza?
To-
Coals
to-
and flammable?
Do you have a gas grill?
Come on, I'm a man, nigga. I do charcoal.
Oh, that, man. Get a gas grill. You turn that on just like it's your oven at home. You drop that in there. You shut it. You come back in a couple minutes, and it's ready to go.
I'm putting the flame broiler in the air. All the real men, meet me on the roof like Commissioner Gordon. Are you team charcoal or team gas grill? Because real men, let me tell you what a real man does. A real man with his bare hands just takes the charcoal and puts it in the grill, puts the flammable liquid on top of it. What do they call that?
Lighter fluid.
Lighter fluid. A matter of fact, a real man doesn't use lighter fluid. He just drinks enough alcohol till his saliva is induced with so much alcohol that he could spit on the coals, use his thumb to light a match, and then the coals get on fire. And then when a real man is cooking his meats, when he needs to check the temperature, he sticks his hands into the flaming red coals and mixing it around with his bare hands. Burns and pus. That's what a real man does.
Yeah, a real man would go out and get wood and wouldn't even worry about charcoal.
A real man sticks his own wood on the flame.
Listen,
puts the meat on top of that.
There's no doubt that a wood fire or charcoal fire, it has a different flavor, But if you're cooking and it's just easy, I'm going gas all day. But I do like I like taking a Weber grill with charcoal in it. It has a different flavor.
Damn right it
But-
does. And some flavored wood chips.
But the convenience, you could do wood chips in your gas grill and you can get the flavor. That worked though. To do charcoal? No. And where I live, I don't even have a grill, so I can't even do any of this shit right now. That's why we're moving to a house so that I can have a grill. I want a grill and I want a garage. I want out of this I want to move. We're moving
to where?
somewhere deeper into probably like further in to Jersey. Not too far away because I need to be able to get to the airport, but I don't want to. I want to live in a house.
All right.
I want a little backyard. I want a little patch of grass.
Let me read this email. And this might take us out depending on how long we talk. Michael Payne, episode 704 is. Hello, A&A and Mark. This is my first time writing to you, Steve. And honestly, it's probably my last. Oh, see, let me stop right here. See, Mike Payne, I don't know if you're going to hear this episode because you've already said you're quitting. Come on, man, grow some nuts. This is what make the diehard fans of this podcast special. Because rain, sleet, hail, or snow, good times, bad times, they stick with us. They don't just abandon because they don't like what they hear. Or because their ideals, our ideals don't align with theirs.
We're not always supposed to agree.
Jesus Christ, man. I could tell that the 80s cartoons would have bothered you. I'm not one of those guys who writes in every week just to chat. I've been a follower for over a year and generally enjoy the show. The email readings, the commentary episodes, the movie talk, all of it. The only reason I'm writing in today is because of episode 704. Specifically, the conversation that started around the 48-minute mark really pissed me off. First, I want to give a shout out to Mark. You are now my. You're invited to any cookout. Incidentally, Mark would call you upon arriving at the cookout, and you're. But you are now my. You're invited to cookout I ever have. Mark, you're doing a great job of trying to bring some sense to the conversation, and it's appreciated. Now, he breaks this down in sections. There's a my section, and there's an Andy section. Aries, let's talk. Aries, you're my dude, and I agree with 90% of what you say. I've defended you to other people because I get that everyone has their own opinions, but you really messed up defending Charlie Kirk. Now, let me stop right here. This is where comprehension is important, because the way that Andy will defend things being taken out of context or you need to hear the whole thing, I am going to say just that. Did you not pay attention to what I said? I said I was a fan of one talking point by Charlie Kirk. One. And that was the transgender. Everything else I did not agree with. I specifically said those words. So what the are you talking about? All right, let me get back to you.
Well, it's perfect because he agrees with what you said. You don't need the full context.
That man is a flat-out racist, and I say that with conviction. I understand that you have your own opinions about transgender people, and that's fine. I'm not always happy with it myself in certain situations, but ultimately, they can do what they want to do, just like gay people can do what they want to do, and just like you and I can do what we want to do. But for you, a black man, to think Charlie Kirk has interesting shit to say is mind-blowing. Yes, I not only thought that what he said about transgenders was interesting, I agree wholeheartedly. What is a woman? Science versus feelings. I'm sorry. You're my brother, but you on that. He and Ben Shapiro are the biggest race baiters out there. All they do is talk about race to get their base riled up. I'm not going to keep hanging on it, but I'm disappointed, especially coming from a black brother. Where did you hear me act like I was a Charlie Kirk fan? That's crazy. I specifically said I only agree with him about that. Now to Andy's part. Andy, you need to hear this. Andy, listen carefully, brother. I have always stood by your side. You usually present yourself as the middle ground, saying you'll vote based on policies, not party lines. I respect that to a point. I don't trust any political party because I believe they're all screwed up. They're all screwed over the black community at some point. Both parties are mostly run by old white men who have their own interests, not ours. The part of episode 704 that really took the cake was from the 48-minute mark to the end of the podcast. I need to get some things off my chest, and I'm going to be as factual as I can. Let me give you a little background on myself so you know who you're talking to. I'm a black man who grew up in poverty. My family worked hard to do better, And I did too. I got out the hood, joined the Marine Corps, went to college, and now I'm an IT engineer. I live in a nice neighborhood, and I try to help other black people do better wherever I can. Growing up, I dealt with the crab in a barrel mentality, and I understand the struggles of people who are undereducated. But your argument about policies that help black people don't acknowledge the policies that created the problem in the first place. You said on the episode, and I quote, up until the 60s, there wasn't a high number of criminal activity in the black community. Let's break that down with some facts. In the 1960s, we were still in the Jim Crow era. Black people were fighting for equal rights and were not able to thrive. The fact is, in 1959, over half of the black Americans were living in poverty compared to less than 1 in 5 white Americans. When things started to change and black people began to demand their rights, white people felt we were doing too much. This is when crack cocaine was introduced into our communities. The crack epidemic was not in the 60s, it began in the 80s, but it was a direct result of these systemic issues. At the same time, more black men were being arrested, which broke up the black family, with more families being led by a single mother. Crime and other issues increased. Your argument about the black community should just overcome these things is black adults are arrested for drug charges at almost 6 times the rate of white adults, even though drug use is similar. We are over-policed and receive harsher sentences. The Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986 created a huge sentencing disparity for crack versus powder cocaine, which disproportionately affected black people. You also talk about how white people had drugs too. That's true, but their families were not targeted and dismantled in the same way. When a society has its back against the wall, people will do what they can to survive. Survival can mean stealing or other criminal activities just to feed your family. You're talking from a white perspective, Andy, and it's clear that you don't know the struggles of growing up in the hood. I've circumvented the statistics, but I have also been arrested 4 times before I was 18. 3 of those times for things I didn't do, just for being in the vicinity. I was lucky, but most are not. Black people don't need a handout. We just need y'all to stop impeding us from doing better. The disparity begins and ends when we are policed more and arrested for smaller crimes compared to our white counterparts. Final thoughts. This episode hurt my heart, especially coming from you two. I'll probably still listen, but if you keep going down this road, you will lose a subscriber. Again, brother, I know this email is pretty much finished, and before I finish it, I'm gonna say again, and this is no slight to you, because I got love and respect for anybody that supports us. But stop thinking that just because you get out the water at the beach, you make the sea level change. We don't want to lose you, but losing you won't affect us. Aries, you need to stand up for us more. When do I not? I know you're not a political guy, but you have to be able to stand up for us as a people. And to Mark, you are my dude. I know you have a hard time dealing with Andy, but you need to grow a pair and call him out sometimes. He does all the time. Andy, I normally side with you, but after that episode, I wanted to jump through the screen and smack you. Do better, Andy. Know what you're talking about because you were talking a whole bunch of and scene.
A lot of the things that you brought up on the black
Great
community.
emails today.
Yeah, a lot of the things that you brought up on the black community and policing and everything, I've already talked about, and I agree with you 100%. That wasn't an issue. Policies that have been created have also been a problem that were to benefit or supposedly benefit the black community. We can get into this if you want to get into this, but what you're saying, I've already brought up. Many of the things that you just talked about, the policies on crack cocaine versus powdered cocaine, definitely has been brought up. Policing has been brought up. All those things have been brought up by me. It isn't like if you need to go back to the episodes, you can do that. If you have gone through them, then you know that I have. And if you haven't, then why did you always normally agree with me?
Here's my question. Have you been with us from day one, or are you just now getting on? Because I think also what happens is people get on in the middle or where we currently are, and they don't know that we've had these conversations. They don't fully know and have heard Andy's full point of view. So based on what they're hearing, there's a jump to judgment to go, this guy. I don't like this guy. What he said. Well, you again, I know we've said, Andy and I have gone back and forth over this, But to me, that's why I go listen from the beginning, because you get a chance to get the full thing and see where we come from. And even when people have went, yo, Andy's grown on me. You know why? Because for the people that started out with us from the beginning, who may have disagreed, as we progress and they learn more about him and hear more from him, yeah, he grows on you, because you go, oh, okay, maybe not so bad. Okay, maybe I understand that point.
I like maybe not so bad.
It's like a fungus. It grows.
It grows. I was trying to give some context to something.
Andy's like a fungus. He grows on you. I'm like your penis. I grow with you.
Let me see if I can find this real quick. I probably can't, but I'll give it a shot. One of the things that you said, though, and I'm going to say this to you, and see if it makes you matter. It probably will, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. The reason you feel like, if you have listened and you've heard some of the things that I said, and you also said that you normally agree with me, or that you understood what I was talking about, and then I said something that you didn't like, and you wanted to jump through and punch me, which I know is, just a talking way of talking, saying the frustration. But if you're so frustrated by it, ask yourself a couple questions. One, are you frustrated because you want me to know and you feel that I should? Or are you frustrated because you can't defend it? And I'm only asking you this, and this reason is because policies that we have done in the 60s, and I'm not saying that these policies, some are definitely necessary, but the welfare state is definitely not a good thing for this country. And it really affected the black community. When you talked about over-policing, taking the black parent out of the home, so did the policies of the welfare state. And it did it to white people too. This isn't like a black thing. More white people are on the system than black people. So I think it's created a very poor.
On the what?
What?
On the system?
In the system.
Oh, okay.
Am I wrong? Or what are you trying to say?
No, you said system.
It
sounds systemic.
In our system. You make up these little points that don't mean anything.
Finish your point.
No, I can't, because you just jumped in with something stupid.
Did you forget where you were going?
No, I don't understand why he tries to get, like, you know what it is? There's people that can come in with the conversation and just chop someone's head off. This is wrong. He comes in with a needle and he goes, "It sounds systemic, isn't that the word?" It doesn't do anything. You just did something to, I'm having a real conversation, and you come in with something that is pointless. It's because you wanted to do a wordplay. Systemic. It sounds systemic. We know that the system has problems, sir.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what you did with that. You just come in with like a little needle to poke at something. Yes, there is a system that's in place, and it's to keep people poor. And it keeps them poor, and it keeps them out of the house, because this is generational now. We have people that are multiple generations that have been on welfare and part of the welfare state for generations. And that's not what the system was intended to do. The system was intended to benefit, uplift, and move people out of the system, not make a whole group of people that are just poor people that rely on the system. Because if you rely on the system, then the government becomes your God, and that's a problem. And that system has broken up a lot of families the whole way around. So I understand your feelings where you get these moments where you think I'm saying something, but if you know me, and you said you kind of agreed with me on some of the other things that I said, why do you think that this is what I'm saying? That this is the road that I'm going down on? Charlie Kirk's thing, if this is where that goes back to Charlie Kirk, and he says about the Civil Rights Act, he wasn't talking about the Civil Rights Act being a bad thing in general. He says that it was actually good and needed. It was the way that it was written is the problem. And the way that it was written is other people have been able to use that to undermine the black community and jump ahead of the black community. So I don't understand what's wrong with that when you listen to it in context. I don't want to get frustrated. I don't want to demean anybody's thought process. But I think that you should, instead of being mad, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, your first reaction was to be mad. Ask the question. I'm educated enough to know what I'm saying, and I'm not missing anything. But you need to ask the question, why did I say what I said? And then try to figure out if I'm actually there or not. And if I'm not, bring points.
I asked the question, Has he been listening to us from day one?
Yeah, I think that's very valid.
No, but now I don't think it needs to be asked because again, if he has been listening from day one, how could you be so extreme and say I need to stand up for my people? Because if listen from day one and you've been with us from day one, you know that I've done that a gazillion times, so much to the point where Andy and I have had heated, almost felt like it was going to blows convo. So if your answer is you've been with us from day one, then you have a comprehension problem. Now I have to question your level of intelligence because the evidence, the receipts have all been there. So now it's you. Because for you to go, yo, you need to stand up for black people more. Are you serious? Yes, I hold my people accountable, as any race should. But dude, I've been black power fisting Wakanda forever since we started this. You can't be serious.
I think though that, and this is where why I hesitate to say the things that I'm saying right now, is because sometimes these emails get written in an emotional moment when they heard something that was triggering, and then they type it out, and that goes out, and that's their first feeling, and they send it out, and then later they can, if there is a calmer moment, that they can go.
Yeah, I think they're writing when their emotions are high.
Yeah, instead of taking it and digesting it and hearing it in a different way.
I'm telling you, it kills me. I literally said, yo, I'm not a fan of Kirk, but I agreed with the one point. Those were my words. But you making it seem like I'm riding with him on everything.
Well, and then listen, I'm not going to get into. I don't want to get into the trans conversation too much, but he said, and trans people can do whatever they want to do. They're like, no one's complaining. Let me rephrase that, because there are people that are complaining about the trans community, but no, I have no issue with the trans community, the trans people getting to do whatever it is that they're going to be able to be productive and be able to feel better in this society. It's not what they do; it's what they want to do that affects other people. And Charlie Kirk wasn't, I hate trans people. It was that it's men in women's sports. It's men in women's spaces. That's a problem, because in our republic, not our democracy, in our republic, no one is supposed to be able to stand over another person. And just because you feel a certain way and you feel that you deserve, that doesn't mean that you get to interfere with someone else's rights. And women have rights. And I don't understand that if there's a biological difference, you have to take that into accountability. The dude, whatever his fucking name was, the guy who ended up killing his model girlfriend that had no legs, that was the sprinter, he wasn't allowed to compete in the Olympics because they felt that having no legs but having paddles gave you an advantage in a sprint. So if that guy can't run with his no legs, then how do you get to run with an ability of a male bone structure against a woman? These are things that have to be answered. I'm not saying that there isn't room for us to figure these things out. What I'm saying is these need to be answered.
And to that, as I've said a million times, yeah, be who you want to be. Live the life you want to live. But don't try to convince me or sell to me that your feelings override facts and science, which was what was compelling to me about Kirk's facts versus feelings, science versus feelings. What is a woman?
Okay, and then when we get to the Civil Rights Act, how do we take what was supposed to be something that we know the black community suffered in this country under slavery? That's a fact. That's fact.
Didn't Charlie Kirk try to shit on Martin Luther King?
He said something. I don't know what it is, but have Mark pull that one up. I don't understand though how that Civil Rights Act gets entwined with all these other with all the other issues, and not only entwined, but almost jumps ahead of that issue. It was specific, and that's an issue to me. That is an issue to me. I do think there's some wrongs that need to be righted, but I don't know that we're going about it the right way. I don't really know. I think that we make laws and then people try to find ways to maneuver through those laws to take advantage of these spaces and these places in what the law was written. I think that's a severe disadvantage to what it was intended for, and especially for the black community. When it gets reworked and re-envisioned to benefit someone else, it was specific. And I don't want to do this because seriously,
Do you have it?
Yeah. I told Grok just to make it short, so this isn't like full quote. He praised MLK for colorblind ideals, but later called him awful, a serial adulterer, which true, and a race Marxist, claiming his legacy was mythologized to push DEI and affirmative action. He argued Frederick Douglass, better role model, hero, whatever, and labeled MLK a sacred cow, then tied to black community decline. Yeah.
I don't. I see. That's another one of these things where when we say it should be said in a better way than that. But I do understand the point. I'm going to say this. That I understand the point of MLK. He is a vision of all that civil rights movement. But there were other black preachers that were out. There were other black preachers that were a part of the movement that have been minimized so that Martin Luther King could be maximized. Because it isn't one person that made this happen. It was many, but his speeches were some of the best. He was the most moving speaker that got all the attention. But when we come down to it, I also think it's because America would rather Martin Luther King be on the front page than having other more aggressive black leaders.
Malcolm X.
That's for sure.
Be the spokesperson or the front page of that book. And I don't think I'm wrong in that. And if the black community wants to come at me and say, well, then you're minimizing MLK, that's not what I'm doing.
No.
But I'm being realistic to what was presented.
They would rather have the guy on that's saying, don't hit back, than the guy that's saying, knock their teeth out.
And they both got killed. Huh.
So, there's more to this story than just sound bites.
I think what upsets people about you, Andy, is when it comes to when it's talking about race and why are black people in this situation, everybody wants this cause, it's due to this, and you'll never admit that it's due to maybe racial prejudices in the system or people. You'll just cite other examples. I think that's what makes people tick. Like you say, welfare. But that's a thing that you can point to and be like, oh, that sounds like a very democratic thing. So we're going to say that's the driver of broken families instead of other things, which it did have an effect, but it was more the manufacturing job loss that caused black families.
Manufacturing job loss didn't occur till after that.
After what?
Till after the civil rights movement. Manufacturing job loss happened in the 70s, 80s, not in the 60s.
Well,
Late
wait.
70s.
But when you said what you said just now, when you go, I think what people have a problem with, even Corey Jenkins, and this is so ridiculously short. He goes, quick question. Corey in Vegas here. Quick question for Andy. I'm here at work listening to EP 709, and I'm wondering, why do you always find loopholes for the oppressors?
I don't find loopholes for the oppressors, but if I can just say that it's just racial bias, that doesn't make sense. If I can say it's just Jim Crow laws and Jim Crow affected the South, but not, and it did affect the North, but differently, how can you put that on all black people? When you say things like black people, that offends me because I know very successful black people, and I think the term black people makes it seem like all black people are oppressed and should be helped and are needed to be coddled because people, and I'm sorry, like you, that go through these college training classes to learn that black people are the most oppressed people and that they need help. Not all black people need help. The community
want it.
That was Malcolm X's point. To leave us move the impediments and let us help our self.
Muhammad Ali alluded to that to a great degree.
So I have a problem. And who's the most? When you said Malcolm X, who is the most dangerous person to Malcolm X in his critique of society?
Elijah Muhammad?
The liberal.
Oh.
The liberal. Because they put this affect that you're a wounded, injured person that can't take care of themselves. Black people are very good at taking care of themselves.
Black people are so good at taking care of themselves. We took care of ourselves and you.
Sometimes they take care of multiple families.
But we say it, when you say it in a way, and when it's said in a way, and this is why I say you got to address all these issues. There's not just one issue. It's not just like, well, people see black people and so what you're saying is white people see black people as inferior, and that's why they need help. That's what you're saying.
No, there definitely is a coddling that is a little much on the liberal side. But at the same time, it's just like, all right, if that's your talking point, how'd you rise that talking point? I've been like talking to Grok all day about this, and nowhere did it ever say something like welfare was the direct cause. It compounded things, but it was only like 10% of the problem.
Okay, this is where I said it. I never said it was a direct cause, and I just said it's all these.
But it was the main thing you brought up.
Because
you even defended it by saying, when did the job loss start? Which I'm looking up.
Look it up. Because what I'm trying to say is that was one of the things that affected a liberal idea that you put out there because we're going to help black people, and that's what the idea was. And all we really did was help poor people stay poor. That's really what it did, and it removed fathers from the home. I didn't say that if we just did this one thing. No, that's a contributing factor. What is the contributing factor? I'll tell you what the contributing factor. No, but it's a contributing factor.
Yeah.
So what's the one thing that you could change that would fix it?
Well, when the job manufacturing got shipped out of the cities.
That's a contributing factor.
And then the low-skill workers were, I don't know, if blacks held low-skill jobs in the factories and manufacturing plants.
And they were shipped out?
When those jobs got shipped out.
Did they all get shipped out, or did we just remove people in that would work for less money because they were low-skill jobs? That also contributed to it, didn't it?
Well, I was reading about was they just got shipped out to more rural areas across the country.
Yeah.
When
to low-scale
were primarily in the city.
There was a talking point at one point in this country where blacks would talk about, and it was true, that we brought in immigrants to take care of those jobs because they were low-paying and they didn't have to have insurance. They got paid less than minimum wage. Those jobs weren't just shipped out. They were moved out to be conducive to being replaced. Everything has a thing that goes with it. And when you say, well, is that the main factor? No. They're all contributing factors. There isn't one thing that's going to fix every problem.
No, the job loss was the main predominant factor.
That's the main factor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like you said, like the marriage rates were, maybe even higher than white people. Black people, although they did have less than whites in the country, they were starting to.
So, Aries, here's the problem
gap.
that I'm trying to tell you. If you guys could have just kept your jobs, there wouldn't be any of these problems.
Them niggas, man.
Well, it's losing the jobs, then, like you said, the welfare thing, the redlining.
Okay, so it wasn't just one thing. Mark, just say it wasn't one thing. There's a lot of contributing factors.
It started with the jobs, and then the system built around it, compounded it.
When did the job loss occur, Mark? Please, you just drain me so much. In you have this circular thought. You tell me I go to different places because I'm
just trying to be objective. I type in, hey, what caused this? What caused this?
How about having some life experience and opening up your eyes?
That's called an antidote, and that is not how you want to live your life. Job loss, primary driver, directly undermine black man's ability to provide. Boom, boom, boom. Welfare's role was secondary, amplifying economic pressures, but not causing them. Structural racism, redlining, discriminatory hiring compounded both. Save me a seat at the barbecue.
There's something that you keep saying. Compounding. What does compounding mean, Mark?
Exaggerates. Or exasperates.
Exacerbates. You did it 3 times and you got it wrong. It took you 3. You got the first 2 that you tried were wrong. Compounding. It's a contributing factor that amplifies a factor. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So then they're all necessary to be fixed. All these great ideas that liberal ideas had have compounded to put us into this situation. So stop with me on these stupid little Gronk things where when I say something, the reason I say it is because it is a compounding factor.
It's Gronk.
It's a compounding
factor. If we're
factor.
correcting each other's grammar.
Okay. What was it? What did I say it was?
Gronk.
Gronk. It's a
like Gronkowski.
Yeah, it should be called Croc is what it should be called.
Like full of
Yeah, because this is all a bunch of because all this has been put in by a human, so that now I guess it's learning now. It is on its own.
No, it probably has some bias and stuff by the sources.
So all I'm saying, and I've been saying it the whole time, all these factors are contributing factors. They're all with best intentions, and they all f*** over people. Because really what it comes down to is people suck.
There it is.
All right.
Maybe is that what it's called? People suck?
Yeah, we call that people suck.
I'm just tired of this. It's
This is why I dropped out of school. Because I just went, listen, man, basic math and obviously the ability to read and write and comprehend, that's all you need. All this other shit, what does it mean?
but there is
It was never your calling.
Yeah.
You're the one of the good ones.
there is a process to be a critical to use critical thinking, and that's what's missing. But to have critical thinking and to have AI work, it has to have an access to history. And I see that a lot of people that are in your group, and I'm sorry that I'm pointing at you when I'm saying it, but I mean it truthfully, is that you take a very small timeline to make these determinations of what you believe, and then you go and you ask something, what does history say? But you have no idea of what it was. You have no you haven't gone deep enough to understand what the cause and effect were. There's some very good ideas. Busing was a great idea. We're going to get these black kids, and we're going to move them to good white schools. Well, what did you do when you did that? What did you do when you did that, though?
What did white people do?
No. What happened to the kids that had a structure and a neighborhood and people that they felt good at, and you just moved them into a white school, and then you took the white kids, and you moved them into why? You know what I want to ask? If you really wanted to do something, if you were really a good liberal and wanted to do something, why didn't you raise the funding and get better teachers and improve the black schools? Because part of this is the community idea. Communities have succeeded. When we talk about the Asian community that succeeded in this country, it's because the Asians stayed in their community and they were able to help each other and work with each other to benefit the community. When the Jewish community did that, they were able to help each other, work with each other, and benefit the community. When the Irish, the Italians, all these communities that we know about in New York were able to benefit their community because they stayed together. What do we do to the black community when they finally started to get some kind of community?
Burn, baby, burn.
And we broke up the community.
Or when they shipped them to Boston from Roxbury, these.
I'm not saying that the intent wasn't good. The intent might have been good, but what's always made America happen is when the communities were able to help each other out and then transform into a bigger part of the community. And those people have success and go out into the community and breed more success and more success. But it seems like every time the black community got any kind of momentum under them, we either burned down their city or we broke them up. But that's just critical thinking. That's just a thought process to look at it and go, hey, maybe we made some mistakes on the way here.
Listen, they make better food and music when they're oppressed.
Okay.
So get him working the grill, because that's going to be good for you guys at the grill, because I love the guys that go, oh, you're a good ally.
Oh, God.
Hey, man, I never wanted to come to your barbecue in the first place.
Come on.
No, I think you give out too many tickets, and I would keep the tickets at home for the black folks. And you're laughing at it, but I've said this on the podcast before.
It's not a ticket, it's a nod.
All right. We got to run some water across it.
You get go ahead and ariespears.com for the dates.
For the dates, ariespears.com. And for anybody who wants to write into the pod, ariespears45 at Hotmail. That's a show.
Yeah, I'll also be in, for Thanksgiving, I'll be back in Phoenix. I'll be at the Stir Crazy Comedy Club for the weekend in Phoenix. You can look it up at stircrazy.com. Thank you guys very much. That's the show. My racist ass is going to go do something else.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit spearsburgpod.com.